what do you think about a possibility? I know it's probably not going to happen now because of all the stuff going on around him, but using this number 3 pick to try to find a way to make a move for Deshaun. Because
you got any
originally
new information on that? I don't. All I heard was there's now been a criminal charge.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Would you think there's like a type of offer that could work on the table to make a move like that?
Dude, there would have to be some clarity on that before the draft to make a move like that. No, he's toxic right now. Not that he's guilty. He's just toxic. You know, and people don't know. And if you make the move now, the PR message it sends is we don't care whether we don't care. We don't know, we don't care. We don't know, we don't care. He's great. So that can't happen. That's why I feel like the Niners made this trade, because they wanted Watson. They felt that they missed out on Stafford, and they were like, all right, well, cool. You get Stafford, we get Watson. How about that? And it's like, oh, damn, we should have got Stafford. We should have got Stafford. Maybe Wentz. Maybe we should have got Wentz. I don't know. But now they're in this place where, like, what are your options when Watson falls apart? What were their options? Nothing. Alex Smith, Jimmy, nothing. So I'm not certain that everyone's like, oh, no, man, Kyle loves Trey or Kyle loves Mac. What if they don't love any of these dudes and this is a move they made out of desperation because Watson fell apart? And they're like, all right, man, well, I guess we got to start watching these quarterbacks and look at their pro days.
A hell of a story.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be a hell of a story.
Fans always assume that these teams have plans. Well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I do agree with you in the sense that this trade did happen only because the Watson thing might have fell through, because it's just the timing of it is what I find interesting. Yep. Like, because everyone was assuming that the Panthers would make a trade, or one of these, Denver, like one of these other quarterback needy teams. No one was talking.
You never know what New England's trying to do. They've been very aggressive this offseason. Yeah, yeah.
So I just think that's interesting, and then also too is, in the later rounds, obviously number 1 is everyone talking about which quarterback. But what do you think is going to happen in the later rounds? Because I feel like you have to address offensive line and receivers still, and corners as well later on in the draft.
Don't they have like 7 picks on day 3? 7 picks.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? They have to replenish their entire depth. So they need a running back. They need a slot receiver. They need a backup at every spot in the defensive backfield, or at least backup corners. They need, as you said, another tackle, another center, another guard. I mean, they need they need depth. They have no depth.
Yeah, that's the great word to use, is they definitely need depth. I mean, in my opinion, if it wasn't going to be number 3 overall, you would have had to taking a Caleb Farley or Surtain with that first round pick, because
at 12, yeah,
because Veretta's on a 1-year deal, and it's very just team friendly, and I was actually happy that it was only a 1-year deal, because I thought the Niners were going to shell out a 3-year deal for Verrett.
The Jimmy Ward deal. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Exactly. So I'm happy it actually worked out that way. But then now you have to find his future replacement in this year's draft, because it is only a 1-year deal.
But they're going to kick the can. Just like they did last year. They're going to wait to draft the future replacement next year. I guarantee that. This is not an organization that commits to developing corners, although they should. It's an important position.
Like the league has changed. Like, you have to develop it at that position. You have to.
It's just as important as receivers, man.
The one thing, as me being a big Brian Flores fan, even though he's in Miami, like the one thing he did in England that he brought with him to Miami is developing DBs and corners. And now that's why you see Bill doing it. Because he kind of bit it off of that a little bit. And
if you have 2 shutdown corners or 2 like Pro Bowl level corners, that just makes you can do so much. You can blitz both safeties. You can manufacture pressure in so many different ways. A lot of people are like, you got to have that 4-man pass rush, but there's so much more creativity that you can do if you have those 2 corners. And the Niners had one of them last year. If you have a second one to go along with Verrett, now you can have a defense like Miami had.
But I also think it's because of the system too, because this 4-3 cover 3 system, it kind of does rely more on a pass rush, because back when Seattle was dominant, yes, they had Sherman and Thomas and Cam Chancellor, but people forget about how good that D-line was too, especially the year they won the Super Bowl. Like, you had Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett, Red Bryant, Mebane. You had a lot of bodies.
Being that vanilla in coverage only works if you have this amazing pass rush. The greatest pass rush of all time that's like 7 or 8 deep. Never gets tired.
One move I think I would really like the Niners to make in this draft, speaking of corners or at least another pass rusher and whatnot, is to trade back in at the late first round. Kind of like last year what they did with the IU type of move. I mean, because it's going to be hard, especially once like a Caleb Farley, for example, because I expect him to go to Chicago, especially since he had that new medical come out with his back. I don't know if you heard about that, but now that's like his like third major surgery in his 4 years at college. So I think he's going to drop a little bit. So if you can trade back in the first round and get whether it's Caleb Farley or just one of these other corners or even a pass rusher to pair with Nick Bosa, because what is Nick Bosa's health really going to be? I mean, we all expect it to be at a starter level, but he could be on a pitch count,
Yeah.
And then
it's true.
at the
I
same
would
time,
expect that.
you got to find a replacement for D Ford's production. I mean, the Ebukon is supposed to be that guy supposedly, and I like Ebukon, but I just feel like you always need more because that's where the league is right now. It's pass rushers and it's secondary on defense, and then it's quarterback and O line on offense. That's just
real quick before I let you go. I'm with you on that, but I'm pretty sure what Kyle's going to do is what he always does in the second round: draft a wide receiver. Yeah, you kidding? And if you think about it, they could justify it because Kendrick Bourne played a ton for them every year, even as a number 3 dude. Yeah, so like that number 3 wide receiver is going to play more snaps than Kyle Juszczyk. And they've never really been that confident in Richie James. So who's it going to be?
Right. But
Jalen Hurd.
I was about to say Jalen Hurd. I mean, if he even plays, I think it's a possibility to be that big slot. But and then I mean, Richie James though, I don't think he's bad.
I like Richie James. I wish Kyle liked him as much as we did. I don't get it.
Exactly, because he had 160 yards against the Packers.
He's a way better receiver than he is a returner, and yet he's a returner on the team and not a receiver. I don't get it, Jose.